Star Wars 7x7, episode 1976. Happy December to you. It's December 1st, and on today's episode, we're going to talk about all the amazing things that are going to be happening in the world of Star Wars, in the galaxy of Star Wars, in the month of December. Punch it! Hey Rebel Rouser, I'm Alan Voivod and this is Star Wars 7x7. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode. So, I'll start with the obvious. There's a little movie that's coming out on December 20th. I mean, technically December 19th, but yeah, that whole Rise of Skywalker thing, you know, that's happening. And it seems like, just based on what's been happening over the last couple of weeks, not only are we going to get commercials, but we're also going to get some additional retrospective stuff leading up to the movie. We've already gotten a quote-unquote special look video that featured a lot of archival content, and there's been, another featurette thing as well, because of the fact that this is the end of the Skywalker saga and we are closing out 42 years of a certain chapter of storytelling. That we're going to be hearing a lot about just the entire, history of the saga. And so I imagine that this is just the beginning of additional retrospective content related to the Skywalker saga. Yeah, that's all coming in the month of December, along with that little movie, of course. From the live action perspective, gosh, as shocking as it seems to say, we will have completed season 1 of The Mandalorian by the end of this month. Yeah, the last 4 episodes are coming out week by week by week by week. The one difference, in case you are wondering, is during the Rise of Skywalker week. So normally the episodes drop on Fridays, but that week, instead of dropping on December 20th, the episode's going to drop on December 18th, the Wednesday. And so the final episode won't, we'll be back on the regular schedule. We'll come out on the 27th. So yeah, the first season of the first live action Star Wars TV series will be in the books by the end of this month, which is more than a little shocking. And I know that there's been, talk about, they're already working on season 2, but I don't think there's been an official season 2 announcement. And I would imagine that that should happen by the end of this month, and certainly by the end of by the end of this season, I would think. But on the one hand, would they not want to, make sure that they take any thunder away from Rise of Skywalker? Yeah, but I don't think that necessarily does if they make that announcement. So yeah, I think it's quite possible that we will hear the official season 2 announcement coming this month. On the animated side of the TV house, we've got not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 episodes of Star Wars Resistance that will be dropping on every Sunday in December, which, as I talked about in a previous episode, is rather a shock, because usually there was a fall finale and they took a few weeks off before digging back into it in late January or mid-January. So this is kind of a surprise, and I don't think it's been published anywhere how many episodes of Resistance we're getting for season 2. So yeah, that's a little bit puzzling as well. And as far as any plans for additional animation, well, we know this is the last season of Star Wars Resistance, and at this point, they have run series after series. Like Rebels ended, and when it ended in the springtime, it was not until the fall that we got Resistance. So it was the same year, just had to wait for the fall premiere basically. And so it does make one wonder whether there's going to be a series coming in 2020. But we will explore that in more detail in later episodes. For now, though, just we're gonna get through episode 13 of season 2 of Star Wars Resistance by the time December is over. On the book side of things, we're not getting any fiction in December, so I guess we've gotten everything we're going to get prior to the release of The Rise of Skywalker. On the reference book side of things, we are going to get a visual dictionary, and we are also going to get a galactic guide, a Star Wars Rise of Skywalker galactic guide. So those two will be coming out. Similar to the release of The Last Jedi, we are not going to get the novelization for a little while after the fact. In fact, it's not going to be until March 3rd of 2020 that we see The Rise of Skywalker expanded edition. Yes, it's going to be an expanded edition like the TLJ novel was, and this time it's going to be written by Ray Carson, who has previously written the Most Wanted novel for younger readers. That was a prequel to Solo: A Star Wars Story. On the comic book side of the house, it's endings, it's beginnings, it's continuations, it's everything, So, coming to an end will be Jedi Fallen Order, the prequel series that leads into the video game, as well as Target Vader, which is a mini-series that focuses on a guy who was in the Imperial Academy with Han Solo back in the day, and who eventually became a bounty hunter who was targeting Darth Vader. So that series is coming to an end. Also coming to an end is the flagship Star Wars title that ended with issue 75, but the official end of the story is going to be in this one-shot coming out in December called Empire Ascendant, and it's actually going to tie in Dr. Aphra, which is a continuing series and will still be continuing, as well as Target Vader, because the guy Baylor Valence, who's the main character in there, is going to appear in this as well. So, that's happening too. And the Rise of Kylo Ren miniseries is also beginning in the month of December. The first issue is supposed to come out on December 18th, and it tells the story of Kylo Ren, the backstory of Kylo Ren and the Knights of Ren. So also presumably the story of how he fell to the dark side is going to be revealed in this story too. And then of course the Star Wars Adventure series for younger readers, that's continuing as well. On the gaming side of the house, there so far is quote-unquote no plan of any kind for Jedi Fallen Order content that relates to the Rise of Skywalker. So sometimes they release DLCs, downloadable content that tie into different things, blah, blah, blah. And that's not going to happen for Jedi Fallen Order. However, it is going to happen for Battlefront 2. It is on their roadmap. There was supposed to be a November content release, and it has been moved to December. And there is a December content release also that's happening, but no content has been cut. It's just been changed as far as the date delivery goes. But EA is saying that December is going to be a celebration month for them, which is going to be headlined by the Rise of Skywalker content. Now, it being a celebration month because it'll be the 2-year anniversary for 2-year anniversary for the debut of Battlefront 2, and still going strong. Good for them. So they're going to have all sorts of new and interesting stuff that they're going to be releasing, but they are keeping that under wraps for the time being, because of course they want to keep as much about the Rise of Skywalker under wraps for the time being. I will say on the gaming front also that in Galaxy of Heroes I have seen notations about First Order military officers, and Galaxy of Heroes, you collect characters in the game, okay? So basically what it seems to be suggesting is that they're going to be adding more First Order military characters to the game, and they already have the Executioner guys, which are also affectionately known as the Panda Troopers, and the Special Forces TIE Fighter pilots, and the regular TIE Fighter pilots, and the regular Stormtroopers. So who knows what else they're going to be adding, and they'll probably be adding Sith Troopers, I would imagine, and Jet Troopers maybe. So also possible they'll introduce something new that we haven't seen yet. That hasn't really been done though since the introduction of the Scarif Rebel Pathfinder in Rogue One, where we actually had a new character debut in Galaxy of Heroes before we knew about it anywhere else. So yeah, I don't know if they're going to do the same kind of thing with Galaxy of Heroes, but wouldn't it be nice? And on the virtual reality front, I don't know what they're going to do now, because I swear I thought that these Vader Immortal episodes were going to be coming out, 1 year and then 1 year and then 1 year. But no, they released all 3 episodes of Vader Immortal in 1 year. So it does make you wonder, do they have something else in the pipeline? I mean, they must, right? And so is it possible that we could get an announcement about that in December? I don't know. I mean, it seems possible, but seems somewhat unlikely comparatively speaking. I mean, we just got Vader Immortal on the 21st of November, so yeah, I don't know. But they have to have something in the pipeline, I would imagine, and I would think we'd be hearing about it sooner rather than later. Maybe not December, but probably early on in 2020. And that's most of the big news in December. I do actually have one other big news item to share for the month of December, and I'll do that after the break. Stay tuned. Hey Rebel Rouser, I've made some changes to the asteroid belt level at patreon.com/SW7X7, and they are all with sponsors in mind. So if you want to get the word out about your business, your product, your service to a dedicated Star Wars audience, then please check out patreon.com/SW7X7 and look for the asteroid belt level for details. Again, that's patreon.com/SW7X7. Welcome back. So I think you've heard me mention this if you've listened to the show for a while, once or twice, and it's actually part of my Twitter bio, I think even. But episode number 2000 for Star Wars 7x7 will happen on December 25th. So yes, episode 2000 is coming this month, which is rather eye-spinningly mind-blowing. It's, the usual thing. Like, the thing doesn't change in the sense that every time I'm asked, did you ever think you'd be doing this daily, you'd do this many episodes? I mean, it's always been one foot in front of the other. So, yeah, I guess, I knew at some point I would hit 2,000, but I was never thinking of 2,000. I was always thinking of, well, let's get to 10. Well, let's get to 50. Well, let's get to 100. Let's get to 150. The milestones, it always kept getting further and further out, but it was always focused on just whatever the closest one was, basically. And I can't even think about 2,000 episodes when I haven't even hit episode 50, right? So, yeah, that's kind of bizarre to be hitting 2,000, to be sure. But I'm very grateful to still be doing it and that you are still with me for this run. And yeah, we're coming to the end of the Skywalker saga business, but we're still going to have a lot of Star Wars to talk about. So 2,000, and then, yeah, I guess 2,500 is the big number after that, which won't be until 2021, I guess. Oh my gosh. All right, let's not get ahead of ourselves. 2,000 coming later this month, which is pretty exciting. But for now, that is going to do it for episode 1976. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode, as always. And may the Force be with you, wherever in the world you may be.
This podcast is not endorsed or sponsored yet by Lucasfilm Limited, Disney, or 20th Century Fox. It is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Star Wars, the Star Wars logo, all names and pictures of Star Wars characters, vehicles, and any other related Star Wars items are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of Lucasfilm Limited or their respective trademark and copyright holders. May the Force be with them. All original content is copyright 2019 by Star Wars 7x7. We hope you love it.